Turns out the live dev thing was just them talking about seasons in the store. The two things I care the least about at all, ever, about Diablo 4. So I got to eat some tacos. Not bad. You're not the grinding type. You're gonna skip it. Yeah, that's what type of game it is. So if you're not into grinding, action RPGs are like 1,000,000% not for you, which is fine. I'm not into map looking at a map and clicking, and so I don't like League of Legends or MOBAs. But a lot of people do. It's just kind of like the gameplay loop. Anyway, let me turn on some music. We'll talk about FAQs for Age of Sigmar. All right. Game chops. Let's do the GHB first, shall we? And I have to turn it off of scuffed dark mode to be able to see it. Did you ping the Discord that we were doing FAQs? Oh, you know, I probably should. You're right. Hold up. I probably should. There, I did that. Should we give him some time to show up? I'll click this, I guess. All right, we're back. Ahem. We're fact up, boys. All right, what do we have here? I haven't seen any of these. If I add units to, oh wait, just looking for magenta. Monstrous Arcana's gone. Add Regiments of Renown. Okay. Does this mean that Forgeworld monsters are finally officially gone after going out of production 5 years ago and very clearly being on the way out? It was only a matter of time for the past 2 entire editions. Well, it finally happened. I would have liked to see this happen at the beginning of third if you were going to do it. Feels weird to do it at a time like this during some random FAQ in the middle of third edition. But they were going to do it eventually. And the best time to do it was in the past. And the second best time to do it was right now. So, alright, there it is. Rest in piss. Shit looking models with usually terrible rules that you were not going to support. Special shout out to people who used the pile of styrofoam rocks because it had okay rules. And it allowed people 1 unit of any synergy at all for like big WoW armies. A lot of orc players use that thing. Everything else is crap and has been crap for a long time. Oh yeah, the hag as well. That's it though. Okay. And Regiments of Renown are part of the game now. I hope they all suck. And I'm just a bundle of positivity this morning, aren't I? Damn. Your giant corn drag can't be fielded. Correct. You know, I've seen 2 of them in real life tournaments. I've seen the corn dragon in real life twice. But that was like right after it came out, and then I never saw it again ever. And this is even the Midwest. And the Midwest is big on wacky hobby conversion, kind of not necessarily power gaming, but, you know. And so this was going to be the place where you would see stuff like that, and you did for a while, but... He had half a surfboard. Yeah, he had like a wakeboard as a base. The thing was huge. Regiments of renown that can only be used outside of that army. Yeah, that feels bad, doesn't it? What, you can't get your mercenaries to work for your own army? Okay. Pour one out for the Rogue Idol and the Vermin Lord. I will pour one out for the Rogue Idol because it had cool rules-ish, a little bit. And some people used it still. Mostly because the Orc book is such a shit book. But, you know. And aside from that, some people used the Troggoth Hag when Gloomspite Gitz was terrible. But once it became good, she was far and away no longer even an option. Just bad, right? And so really it's just Rogue Idol. Yeah, Rogue Idol was a Forgeworld thing that even to this day was sometimes used. Everything else, no. Hopefully the next Orc book isn't trash. And hopefully they'll give them the dignity of at least having their own fucking army books. Like all the different elf armies have, and all the different dwarf armies have. But for some reason, orcs, who gives a fuck, put them all in the same book. That's just a lack of respect. I don't like it. And also it means that when you're doing the orc book, you have 3 times more work than anybody else, and so inevitably you're just going to spend less time on each faction in there. Bone Splitters will die if that happens. Do you mean from unpopularity because the models are garbage? Because maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. But I wouldn't, to me, I wouldn't drag the other orcs down trying to keep Bone Splitters on life support. I think you should either support them or don't support them. Shit or get off the pot, in other words. That one witch gal. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Heywoah in this time zone? Lucky you. Yeah. There was a Diablo dev talk thing, and I'm a Diablo player, and so I watched it. Unfortunately, it was the dev talk about all their like store stuff and seasonal stuff, which I don't give a fuck about. So I tuned into the wrong dev talk. They've done a bunch of them, and some of them are on endgame, and some of them are on itemization, and those are like interesting. But unfortunately, I tuned into the one about stores and seasons. Who cares? But I got to eat some tacos. That was kind of nice. And I'm waiting on a package, which will arrive. I'm clicking on it right now, and I'm telling you this, I guess, because this is my blog. This package will arrive between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. So I'm on the edge of my seat for that. On the edge of my seat normally about packages. Anyway, I'll tell you when you're older. Is this just brand new? All right, I'm no longer looking for magenta because this is all brand new, right? Because this is the new KO book that came out. This is April. The big stab at 2-man spears, funny enough that you want to keep making them. I'm not saying they should retire the Bone Splitters army. I'm just saying it's clearly unpopular. And artistically speaking, I think the models are awful. and the theme and style is boring. But if they're an army, then they should be supported. It's GW plastic, even if it's old plastic. And duct taping them to the other orcs as an iron lung to keep them alive, but doing nothing else to it, I don't know. Support them or don't support them. What's the most popular but least powerful army? Stormcast. I don't think that's it. It's Stormcast, yeah. They're, generally speaking, the most popular quote-unquote army. And they're usually not great. In 3rd edition, they're alright. 3rd edition Stormcast, they're not bad. Which is the best they've ever been, aside from a brief tenure as like a 1st edition breaking the rules thing that only lasted like a month. Usually Stormcast is kind of bad, but now it's alright. And it's pretty popular. Next up is probably Slaves to Darkness. They're also alright, but really popular because they look cool. And the problem with your faction being really popular is that the more people play it, the more its win percent is pulled down to 50%. Because there's more mirror matches, more people are losing, it just kind of pulls itself towards 50%. Arndt gets pretty popular, same with Skaven. Physically owning the models? No. Internet popularity, yeah. A lot of people that own Skaven have owned Skaven for 45 years, so there's that. You know one single Skaven player who's been collecting for years? Yeah, that's kind of the Skaven player. Most Skaven players have owned Skaven for 30 years. I shouldn't make these sweeping statements that are probably not factually correct. D4 Server Slam pre-installs available, let's go. I'm not gonna download Diablo 4 while I'm streaming. I gotta keep this bit rate. I don't have infinite bits. People give me them often, but yeah, a lot of people do have cool boys, but they don't really play with them, either because everybody thinks they're bad, or you know, whatever reason. Bits. You said the thing. Bit. Hey, Percussive Scruff. Thanks for the bits. Appreciate it. When we debated starting Warhammer Fantasy Battle or 40k, the Skaven build had 2 blocks of 100 Skaven slaves as base, and you doped out. Yeah, that doesn't sound like something I'm interested in, but that's me. Pretty much everyone you know who wants to start Skaven stop after they realize how many they need and how much they need to paint. Yeah. And how old so many of them are. Any thoughts about Warhammer 40k 10th? No. I don't play 40k, nor do I follow their stuff. So I don't have any insight about them. People tell me the Warhammer 40k 10th edition took some stuff from Age of Sigmar, which is common. AOS takes stuff from Warhammer 40k, and they take stuff from us, and they're kind of like testing for each other. That's about all I know. I'm not really a 40k content creator person. I guess I'm not really a Diablo content creator person, but I could talk about it for hours, but for 40k I kind of couldn't, I don't think. It's getting the Sigmar treatment. What did he mean by this? The Sigmar treatment. Do you mean they're finally getting away with... Are they doing away with strength versus toughness and you just Whatever it says on the war scroll, you just roll that for hits and wounds and stuff. You no longer have to pay and itemize out all your war gear. It's all just the cost for it is the opportunity cost of not choosing something else. Are they getting priority so it's a more difficult game to play and more interesting? Or is it still just you go, I go? Whoever takes the first turn is the real big deal, and then the game's kind of over and when you know it. Yes, with the war gear stuff. Oh, cool. I like that. But it doesn't matter if I like that. I don't play 40k, and so it literally doesn't matter what my opinion is about that game, because I don't play it. If the people who play 40k like that, then it's good. If they don't like it, then it's bad, because I'm an outsider. Most stratagems are gone. Most of the stuff is on the datasheets, war scrolls. They removed a lot of bloat so that they can add it back, because they can't help themselves. We know this. Hammerman 40k. Oh, you did hear your name, yeah. If only AOS made Battleshock matter. Well, here's the thing about that. Here's one of my hot takes about Battleshock. And some of you have probably heard it before, because I stream a lot, but everybody complains that Battleshock doesn't matter. But I guarantee you, if Games Workshop made Battleshock matter, you would hate it. You'd hate it. If it really mattered and you couldn't just like inspire presence and just ignore it, and you actually suffered greatly from Battleshock every single turn of 10 turns of a game, and your guys dying and running away, or maybe you can't control them anymore, they run in random directions or they flee, and you actually just had to deal with it, that shit would suck, and everyone would hate it. So I think they're in the perfect spot, to me. They're in the spot where technically Battleshock exists, but basically everyone gets to mostly completely ignore it. Sometimes maybe one or two guys die somewhere, but mostly everyone ignores it, and I think that's the best place for it to be. Because I don't like it. And if it's technically in the game but it doesn't matter, that's the best place for it. You once set a max squad of clan rats on a middle objective inside of my own warp lightning vortex every turn of the game, just slowly killing them, and you never had to do Battleshock because you're Skaven. Yeah, please don't ever change it. Ahem. You missed half the stream. You missed the Diablo 4 dev talk, but it was a bad dev talk. They only talked about the store and seasons. Who cares? I got to eat tacos during it. Chat was entertaining themselves. This is the real stream. In new 40k, you only roll Battlefield, I assume you mean Battleshock, if your unit is at half strength. None of your guys run away, but they can't capture and can't receive commands. Oof. Oh, so they're dead. They're not dead, but they're like Heywoah, right? Like they're dead in the future. If you can't get commands and you can't capture, you might as well not exist. You're an endless spell that's blocking a lane at that point. You can deal damage, I suppose. You can fight. So there's that. Anyway, those are my thoughts on it. Also, I play an army that doesn't have to care about Battleshock, even if it mattered. Because I just play monster trucks that are one thing. Well, okay, they could change Battleshock and have it be like a morale or an intelligence stat or something, so that even monsters would have to roll it to choose to do something or whatever, but that's one, too much granularity for me, and two, slows the game down a lot, and three, isn't fun, so I hope they don't do that. I would hate that. That kind of stuff like smells like fantasy battle, and the reason why I was very uninterested in playing that game. Too much Dungeons and Dragons in my war game. I want those streamlined rules. I'm not trying to roll an alignment check for some fucking hero because I don't know. He wants to woe low the opponent's guy or challenge them to a duel or something. Actually, you know what? Challenging to a duel would be cool. I'll reach across the aisle on that one. If your foot heroes could challenge people to duels so that it would give a foot hero something to do besides be a buff zone, if you did it perfectly, that would be cool. But there's so many ways to do that wrong that I would probably just not. Anyway, let's talk about KO. What do I know about KO, and what was I waiting for an errata on for KO? I'm going to be honest here. I read their book once. It sounded awesome. And I'm sure there was an FAQ question when we were reading it, but I can't remember. And so I'm going to be reading a bunch of stuff that KO players are probably going to understand, and I'm probably not. But here we go, okay? Can units embarked in a transport vessel be affected by abilities that require models in the unit to be removed from the battlefield and set up again? For example, can a unit of engine riggers or skywardens use the grapnel launcher ability while embarked in a sky vessel? The answer is yes. I agree. That's proper. They can shoot out of the thing and then get repelled off. That makes sense. I don't know the gameplay implications of that, but it sounds like a yes from me. Good work. Can transport vessels be affected by abilities that remove them from the battlefield and set them up again? Like Soulscream Bridge. Yes to both if there are any additional effects that apply to the transport vessel when it is set up, such as not being able to make a normal move. These effects also apply to the embarked units. Yeah, that makes sense to me too. Dude, we're 2 for 2. Good work. I agree with both of these. Yeah. And they covered their bases with the stuff affects the people inside of the Stargate. Like, that's nice. The hero bearing the Tusk Helm artifact of power. Ah, yes. The Ogre Helm. The Ogre keyword ability. Is embarked on a transport that makes a charge. Does the Tusk Helm ability come into effect? No. And they agree with me. Although the bearer is considered to have charged, no charge roll is made for the bearer. And so no dice can be rolled for the Tusk Helm ability. Good answer. 3 for 3. Good answers. Nice. They used to have it where the unit would run away, and if they failed the test, you used scatter dice to determine where they ran, and then you had the... Oh, what an awful game. I'm sure some people like that. That doesn't sound fun. If a unit embarked on a transport vessel receives the rally command, can I return models to that unit beyond the limit of the number that can be embarked? No. And they agree. Yep. Damn, not a bad answer yet. Good work. If a unit disembarks from a transport vessel, does it still count as having made the same types of moves that the transport vessel has made? Yes. Once again, I approve. If the vessel ran and then they get out, can they charge? No, stuff like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Receives disengage. Can any units that retreated before embarking still shoot? No, because the game remembers. Makes sense. If a transport vessel receives the redeploy command, can units embarked in it receive the unleash hell command in that turn? No. Yeah, because it's kind of like one big thing. It's more complicated than that, but yeah. That makes sense. endless spell is included in a Karadan Overlord's army as part of a spell in the bottle artifact. And it also includes any wizards. Those wizards know the spell, no they don't. Yep, that makes sense. If a unit of Grunstock Thunderous has multiple models armed with the Fug, can I resolve the effect of the Fug that happens at the end of the combat phase multiple times? If yes, can I pick the same unit to be affected by the Fug more than once? Yes to both. Alright. Double Fuggies. Multiple Fugs. That's neat. Okay, so all their answers so far have made a lot of sense to me. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Keep in mind you can only have one Fumigator per 5. So it's not like you have 15 Fug rolls at the end of the thing. You get probably 2. Okay. Harmless Fug. Ahem. And then the following are errata and not designer's commentary. Fug in, fug out. Add the following bullet point to the final paragraph when a transport vehicle finishes a charge move. Are all treated as one unit for the purpose of determining whether an enemy unit is eligible to receive Unleash Hell command. Yeah. Okay. This makes sense. This is cleanup. So you're not immune to Unleash Hell, in other words. From certain readings early on, you were immune to Unleash Hell. And now you aren't, because it was like an unintended immunity. I agree. Aether Chemist. At the start of your shooting phase, if this unit is not embarked, pick one friendly Skyfarer's unit that is not embarked and is wholly within 12. Improve Rend by 1. Okay. So just doubling down on the fact that the Aether Chemist, you can't use him with ships. In no way can you use the Aether Chemist with ships, which is sad, but also kind of understandable. They don't want him to be that strong. Foot sloggers only. Alright. And then, at the end of the combat phase, if this unit is not embarked and is within 3 of any enemy units, you can say that it will use its time charges. 2 up, D3 mortal wounds. And this unit must retreat. It is at the end of the combat phase, though, so you can fight and then do this. Cool. The old text was... Okay, so the old text was that. The only update is you can't do it more than once. Okay. No fun allowed, in other words. No combos are allowed. Okay. I understand why they did it. I'm sad because no combos allowed. But, fine. Alright, yeah, Was KO waiting in the wings for some FAQ answer that didn't show up here? I wonder. All of these responses seem pretty reasonable. To be TBH. More reasonable than I was expecting. I mean, good work, I guess. What about Slanesh? Oh boy, we got we got a bunch. We got a lot of them. Is the retreat move caused by Phantasmagoria spell simultaneous with piling in and attacking? The answer is yes. What did GW mean by this? Oh, I know. Okay, I get it. Because the Phantasmagoria thing is you get to retreat from people when that unit attacks you, if I recall correctly. And so they just want to know how to organize that. Do you get to attack or not? And it's simultaneous, which means you go by the normal ordering of simultaneous actions, which is active player does all theirs, and then non-active player does all theirs. So on the opponent's turn, they get to kill those guys before they retreat. And on your turn, your guys get to retreat first, I think. Because simultaneous stuff goes in active player, non-active player order. Hit and run on your turn, retreat if you survive on your opponent's turn. Yeah, okay. Alright. It sounds kind of weird because you're saying simultaneous, but there's like a rules definition to that term, and then it makes sense. Thanks for the follow, Meathead Fat Dad. Can I use Figureheads of the Dark Prince ability more than once each turn? Or each hero phase? The answer is no. What was Figureheads of the Dark Prince? Was that the heroic action that we thought you were going to cascade a million times? Oh no, this is the one that gives you bonus damage, right? Tyrant Mania, thanks for the tier 1. FAQ Day, true. Thanks for the 29 months, it's a long time. Thanks for liking my stuff. Mitiki Fat, thanks, I like your voice and music. Keep going, hey, no problem. Thanks for liking my stuff. Does the Bladebringer's Slavering of Sensation ability modify both effects of the Soul Scent ability, the effect that causes mortal wounds, and the effect that adds the attack characteristic? Oh, it's this one. No, it only modifies the effect that causes mortal wounds. Alright, hey, thanks for the clarification. I didn't think we'd get 30 attacks. If two different friendly Lords of Hubris use the You First I Insist and pick the same enemy unit, what happens? It's the last brownie on the platter. Oh no, you. I simply couldn't. I couldn't. You should be the one. Oh no, I insist. Oh no, please. And the ogre player saunters up to the table. I'm eating this. Too slow. Enemy unit can only attack the Lord of Hubris that uses the You First I Insist ability last. Okay, so last one applies. We just wanted an answer. If I offer a temptation dice to my opponent and they reject the offer, is that temptation dice still lost? Yes. Alright. If I use my ability, does it cost anything? Yes. I mean, someone had to ask, I suppose. No, you don't have infinite temptation dice, as long as they say no. And then we got Errata. Escalating Havoc. If this is a hero action, you can carry out one friendly invader's hero instead of picking one. Pick one eligible command trait from the list below that the invader's hero does not already have. It's considered to have it. Same command trait cannot be picked with this ability more than once in the same turn. Unique units cannot benefit from this ability. Okay. Fun destroyed. No combos allowed. Great work. I won't be playing that one. Bladebringer. All friendly Hellflare units are wholly within 12 of any friendly units of this ability. Their Soul Scent ability causes these mortal wounds on a 3 instead of 4. Okay. Perhaps they didn't have any in it. Maybe that's the addition here. Changes the final sentence of You First. Okay, the taunt. If you do so, the strike first effect applies to that enemy unit in the following combat phase, but if this unit is within 3 inches of that enemy unit when it is picked to fight, all that unit's attacks must target that unit. Good. We've got an intervening if clause here. If this unit is within 3 of that enemy unit when it is picked to fight. Good work. No more stacking hurlas on all the leaders. Yeah, in list building, you're finding it rough to bring more leaders than that anyway, yeah. Mesmerizing Mirror. Does this thing do something now? This ability has no effect on friendly units. Okay. Good. Where's the FAQ that lets Keeper of Secrets use their command ability on themselves? Because That's still an oversight. Maybe no one told them. Hey, there's an error on this war scroll. It seems that they can't use the command ability on themselves. Surely this is not intended, right? When you have traits in the army that require somebody to be alone or not near anyone else. Alright, so aside from that, this all seems reasonable. Some of it might be difficult to understand at first blush, but it all makes sense. This is a weird cascading kind of rule anyway. A weird way to do it. Is that a bug or a feature? It's a bug. There's no way they would make Keeper of Secrets command ability trash on purpose and not be able to target itself. And this is for like the second book in a row. Damn, maybe it is on purpose, but I fundamentally disagree with it. Blades of Corn. Karnak Call to Hunt ability allows friendly summoned flesh hounds to be set up within 9 of enemy units if they are set up wholly within 8 of Karnak. Can such units be set up within 3 of enemy units? Does Karnak get to break the rules? Yes. Literally yes. Yeah, you can put dogs directly into combat. Please enjoy. Mahagor's Fiend's Riptooth. First time this unit is set up on the battlefield, you must summon one Flesh Hound's unit consisting of one model of the battlefield and add it to your army. Model must not be a Gorehound. And must be on a 50mm base. Set up the Flesh Hound unit only within 3 of this unit and more than 9 from enemies. Okay. Were people putting like different type of keyword Flesh Hounds on the table? I bet. I wonder. Yes, you cannot have units of Bloodthirsters. Okay. We assumed that. The clerical change here. And then Allies table. Madkin of Nurgle slays the darkness. No Zinch. And then Khorne units and Mark of Chaos units. Wait. Excluding Zinch, Khorne, and Mark of Chaos units. Okay. Because Khorne units wouldn't be allies. They would be coalition. Was there any... What was the Khorne FAQ I was wondering about? The Magor's question is 100% you, no one else cared. No Arcane Tome in Khorne, but wizards please show up. Yeah, that's a little strange, Brad Pitlord. Then again, man. Depending on the Khorne army, you might not even want it. Because your own shit screws with it so much. Wizards, I mean. Yeah, come take a seat, Festus. Festus is good synergy. I can't remember what Festus even does. But in an army of MSUs that want to stack Blood Tithe, Festus... Or am I thinking of Epidemius? No Blood Tithe changes is wild, though. What were we waiting for the Blood Tithe change? The 1 DT move 3 units, D6 getting nerfed maybe? Everyone freaking out about that? 1 BT for free movement is strong as fuck. Yeah, it's strong as fuck, but I don't think it needs to be nerfed. Look, if a good army got 1 BT for free movement every hero phase. It would be overpowered. But Corn got it, and so it's fine. How about that? Can we meet in the middle? Yeah, Festus is the potion man. I was thinking of Epidemius for some reason. We all just hate Corn, to be honest. You know, Corn hates Corn. You think Corn is going to Dark Horse some GTs in the right hands? That's the safest possible guess ever. Because every single army in the game has gone 5-0 multiple times. And so saying that one of them could go 5-0, it's like, damn, you know what? The sun's coming up tomorrow morning. Guarantee it. But realistically speaking, Bloodletters are pretty good. Bloodletters are pretty good, and their Blood Tithe stuff is pretty good. I don't know if people think that Corn is bad, despite my jokes. I don't think it is. But Corn players, you have to admit that you want everyone to think that Corn is bad. So I'm just playing along. I'm being a bro. Corn is actually very good, but it's good because of tech, not raw stats. Rhinoceros Eruption, that is the definition of Corn for the entirety of Age of Sigmar. When Corn is good, it is good because of technology, and its raw stats are always generally bad. That's sort of that's the niche of Corn. And the new book didn't change that. You watched the VOD game I played against Corn, making you happy to see how fighty it still is? Yeah. That was the game that I charged Mournfang into Skull Crushers. Just to see what would happen. And what was supposed to happen did. The Mournfang did absolutely nothing and died. So I wish you watched a game where I played better, but still, it was a true tie. And Corn Mortals is good. Like, Corn is good. That's a good thing. Corn is colorblind nightmare. Any other news? So that's the errata. Nothing seemed egregious. Everything seemed to make sense. I don't think am I even doing an FAQ react to this? There's nothing to make fun of. They just answered things correctly, for the most part. Where's the fun in that? I guess the silver lining is they had good answers. Well, I guess they did get rid of all that dumpster shit from Forgeworld. So, and there's a few people out there who are playing the Rogue Idol and stuff like that. So we could meme on that, I guess. But as far as like the actual changes, it's all just really sensical. I guess I could do the thing where if all their changes are sensical, then I could be like, hey, are you going to change this other thing? Oh, no, you're not? Boo. You know, maybe I could do that. Slaanesh sad they can no longer farm DP off their own guys with a mirror. Was that the change, Rhinoceros Eruption? Was that the thing? Maybe that's fine then. Hey, can I cheese this in a way? No, you know. Rip Andrew Yell's Corn Dragon. Yeah, it took him too long to finish it. I think it's still incomplete, and now he can never play with it again. Or he can bring it to an event and dare them to tell him that he can't play it. I think a TO might crack under pressure. in real life, you got a person standing in front of you holding a fucking $2,000 corn dragon or however much money that thing cost. Be like, you're telling me I can't play with this shit ass model that looks ugly and sucks in the game? Are you gonna tell me I can't? And the TO's gonna be like, fine. Thank you. Give me the Maw Grunta? Yeah, it's looking good. It's the road to a new beginning for Iron Jaws, where they have 4 boxes that they can buy. Big. You hate the Thunderers now do more than 1 chance at the 2-up D3. Probably correct based on how it's written, but KO is too good. Is KO too good, do you think? Maybe they are. But, I don't know. It's a unit of 10 now gets 2 D3, right? For their special weapons. Maybe if you reinforce it 3 times, now you have 3 of them. They have a 56% win rate. That's above average. KO has something like 60 world records. I mean win rate. Anything under 65 is reasonable. I mean, based on the past, that's kind of how it works, right? Use it as a terrain feature. You're just here to crash frigates full of idiots into things. Jacoby, that is the exact correct take to have. I agree with you. That's fun. I'm happy it exists. If they get up to 60, then do something about it. But alright, well, I was going to watch that thing, and then I was going to talk about the FAQ. And I've done both of those things, and it's 3 o'clock. And I'm still waiting for my package. Which is, quote, out for delivery. And so either we could hang out or I could actually do work. Diablo stream? I guess I could Diablo a little bit. Is it an AOS package? It is not. No. Waiting for your rogue... yeah, I bought 3 rogue idols. Gambling that they wouldn't ban it. Oh, geez, I lost out, I tell you what. Actually, I just, I ordered from Amazon. I got a 4x6 block of styrofoam. Same thing as a rogue idol. But no, it's not an AOS package. I might pull the trigger, boys, viewers. I might pull the trigger. I don't know if I will or not, but I might start converting Kragnos. It might be time. I might drive to a Games Workshop store. Actually, a friendly local game store, let's be honest. But it might be time to start working on that Kragnos collection. That shit is fun. Any kit bashing streams in the future? Were you still looking at third-party ogres for the Catacross conversion you were pondering? Yeah, I have been. What did you decide on for the Kragnos? So here's the thing. I think a Catacross diorama of all ogres is the better idea. It's just the better idea, right? But here's the problem. It bears no relation whatsoever to Kragnos in any way. So it's a conversion I want to do, but not for Kragnos, if that makes sense. And I know Boppy Briccolini is just about the right size and big and stuff, but I don't know if I like that for the main guy. You know? So I might order a thing or two, but it's like a back burner. I'm working on that for something. He's not good for the main guy. He's too haunched. Yeah, maybe out there somewhere is the perfect main guy. I don't think he's the perfect main guy. And I want to do that conversion, but it'll just be for something. Maybe I'll just do it and it'll look cool. And it's a diorama on my what are those bullshit things that they make you bring to tournaments that are stupid and pointless, and they gatekeep extra points out of you and make travel annoying, and some people try too hard on a display board. That's it. Maybe it'll just be like a diorama on my display board or something. But you know what really does, so it's a slightly worse idea than the diorama one, but it fits Kragnos perfectly. And that is like a Mega Gargant Frost King who's wearing like a Kragnos fur cape with like his head like all up here, you know, with the horns and everything. Maybe he's holding Kragnos by the neck in his hands or something. Yeah, there's a few different ways I could go with it. But that one says more, it speaks more like this is obviously a Kragnos conversion, you know. And I want it to be what do you call it? Readable. Not readable, but I want to put it on the table and my opponent will immediately be like, okay, is this Kragnos? I want them to say that. Because I'm not trying to fool anyone. So I might pick up a king wide, a king broad, and heavily customize him and put ogre shit like all over him. Just ogre stuff everywhere. Either Kragnos cape or Kragnos' horns on top. Maybe he's like tearing Kragnos' head off or something. I'll figure out something. But I think we're gonna start with that. Yeah, and I'm going to put some ogres on the base for scale. All sorts of stuff. It'll be a good time. And I already have Kragnos. All I need is the suddenly my mouth went dry. The $200 King Broad. That's all I need. Heavy air quotes, all I need. And then I can just do the whole conversion. So I might do that. But the package I'm waiting for is for a computer part. I decided to treat myself. And by treat myself, I mean buy something for work. And so I got a computer part coming in. Any computer nerds in the chat, hide your kid's eyes, I guess. Anyway, you've got an awesome Kragnos conversion in the works. He's too big to play in the team events you always go to. Oh no. He's got that Sound Blaster card. Dude, I bought 2 Voodoo 3s in SLI mode. Shit, I'm gonna play Unreal at 61 frames per second. Shit's gonna be cash. They got that Turok. That N64 Turok on the PC. They did a PC port of it. Hell yeah. $200 FPS Pac-Man. Look, I'm gonna play Diablo while we talk. I gotta get this Necromancer up to Larzuk. Since this was, I guess, it began with Diablo, it ends with Diablo. the stream. Voodoo should come back because Nvidia and AMD only want to make $1,000 video cards now. They were ahead of their time, I guess. Right? They were ahead of their time. Bolt gun looks sick. I'm gonna play it. It's a purchase for me. You got me. I'm buying it and I'm playing it. I think it'll be fun. Like I always say when people ask me about it, I don't know how much content I detect in that game. It might end up being a little light on content. But I'm gonna play it anyway. It looks fun. Pineapple CDN, you were right. And others. Playing a Necromancer is weird. I'm still getting used to it. Probably just an episode of Doomsworth. Maybe, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I hope it's got a lot in there. You been playing on the PS5 recently? Costed you half of a graphics card. Works well enough. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The problem is you can't run After Effects on a PS5. That's the problem. Is there any reason you run any other mercs aside from Act 2-1? Short answer, no. Long answer, no, but you can do one thing or another thing with some very niche characters. Because the fact that you can get 2 auras with an Act 2 mercenary is just OP. All the other mercenaries are kind of... they just can't compete with that. Hold up. Anyway, sometimes for instance, my Fury Druid uses an Act 1 mercenary with a Faith Bow for Fanaticism aura. Because it's slightly better than an Act 2 mercenary with like Pride or something like that. For the weapon that I'm using. So like, you know, every once in a while there's something like that. Sometimes you might use an Act 5 mercenary and use like a Lawbringer and a Plague or something for a quality of life as a certain character, I guess. But for the most part, yeah, it's just Act 2s. Largely. Did we do FAQs yet? Yeah, we did. Carneth, sorry. They were pretty short, and they mostly had... I mean, they just answered questions pretty well, and nothing was crazy. They didn't make one of those... One of the good thing about Necromancers, I don't have to do anything, and these guys just kill stuff. It's kind of nice. It's sort of like the Summon Druid. Pineapple CDN, thanks for the big prime. I appreciate it. Oh, it's a new prime. Nice. This has been a kind of... bizarre stream, so if you like this one, goddamn, just wait for my good ones. Anyway, thanks for the support. Barb with Act 5 is fucking metal with decent rune words. Yes, you are right. That's kind of what I was talking about. Depending on what you're using and fighting with, sometimes Act 5 is actually pretty cool. But in general, it's Act 2, for the most part. First Summoner Necro. Yeah, I don't... Look, I play Diablo 2 a lot, but I only ever play my Druids. But I need a Larzuk, and I'm like, you know what, I'll do a Necromancer. We'll just see how they level. And so I'm like trying it out. This guy's called Larzuk Delete because I'm gonna get to Act 5, put 3 sockets in a Druid Helm I just got from Metamorphosis, and then delete the guy. But, you know, you gotta try new things every once in a while, right? It's alright. It feels like a summon druid with worse summons, but way better things that you can do as a character, like versus a summon druid. The druid summons are, as far as I can see, easily twice as good as your shitty skeletons and stuff. Like, your summons are just way better, and you don't need corpses to make them. You can keep summoning them over and over. And the birds that you create to peck stuff help out with attack rating. But curses and corpse explosion are so are like insanely good. Like, they're incredible. And the summon druid doesn't have anything like that. He doesn't do anything, he just stands there. As a necromancer, I could just stand here, or I could like corpse explode over and over and curse stuff so it takes double damage and it breaks through fizz immunes. Your skeletons are kind of like your skeletons are sort of like things that kill one monster, and as soon as they kill one thing, you just press corpse explode until all the whole screen is dead. For a druid, your summons are actually the stars of the show. And so you need them to like fully kill everything, and you're just kind of standing there. Which I guess, you know, like, some people may like that, some people may not like that. And I don't have Decrepify yet, but I'm kind of waiting on it. Even amp damage makes them seem like they can do something. Pineapple says, no problem, stumbled on your content on YouTube in the last few weeks. Thought I would send some support. Well, thanks a lot, I appreciate it. That's the system works. So I make YouTube videos, and people like those. And in the YouTube video, I'm like, I stream on Twitch. And so if you give a shit, you're like, oh damn, I'm gonna go to Twitch and watch the guy. And give him $2.50. The system works. Anyway, thanks for the support. Visit decrep.fy for your necro needs. Good meme. You look kind of sweet as a necromancer too. Like, the armor is cool. Good work on that. I go very quickly. Not as quickly as a sorceress, I suppose, but... I'm used to playing characters that are level 93 and have, like, ooh, I got a Phoenix Shield and I got an Insight and all this, and you just have infinite mana and life forever. And you're teleporting everywhere, so it's kind of nice every once in a while to, like, level up a character and be like, damn. So that's how good I have it on my high-level characters that I only ever play. Oh, also, you get, like... Necromancer offhands are fucking broken. They have so many skills on them. It's nuts. And wands. So that's been fun. And you can even get them at pretty low level too. So it's like, oh shit, I got +3 raised skeleton. Apparently clay golem. I just bought this thing randomly. You get tons of skills on your main and offhand, and you can just pick those up. Way better than Druid Helms. Because Druid Helm drops it as a 1 in 10,000 chance of actually mattering. There's just too many affixes it could have, I guess. In fact, I'm still searching for, like, I don't know. I've played my druids, like, forever. And I pick up every Druid Helm I ever see. And I still haven't found the, you know, the 6 tornado or whatever, the perfect Fury Druid thing. Like, I still haven't ever seen one like that. And I haven't met anyone that's seen anything like that either. They're so rare. Well, okay, they're like rare, but then also I think nobody picks up druid stuff. I think that's part of the problem. Is that when other people are playing the game and some druid helm drops, they just leave it there and don't even notice. And so partially it's that they're rare, and partially it's that no one's picking it up to try to trade it. Because for the longest time, why would you bother? One of the most interesting necro builds is the Iron Maiden Bone Prison setup. Enemies kill themselves and you just sit there. Yeah, that's fun. I don't know too much about necromancers because I only ever played druids and sometimes barbarians. But I know that the thing that everybody plays at max level is the poison necro. I think that's the best one. Or people tell me it's the best one, anyway. Is the poison AoE and then the whole screen dies thing. But you need some pretty specific gear for it, I think. What was a mountain druid? I am, yeah. And that's what I'm probably going to play in D4, is the druid. Supposedly it's good. I keep putting points into skeletons. I don't know if this is right. It might not be right. You are pretty awful against bosses, though, that's for sure. Just as advertised. You know, famously, necromancers are terrible against bosses. And I killed Duriel. And I found that to be true. It's true. All of it. I'm right now mostly just getting waypoints. On my way. And pretending like I don't have to go into the fucking sewer. Duriel as a necro sucked, and then again, Duriel sucks in general. Yeah, it does. I mean, I did the thing you're supposed to do. You know? Make a portal, you drink a bunch of thawing potions. Because their duration increases, like it stacks additively. If you drink like 5 of them, then it'll last for a few minutes. Bunch of stamina potions, run around in a circle. Keep blasting rejuvenation potions into your mercenary. All 7 of your skeletons will die in 1 millisecond the second you enter. Summon your blood golem, I guess, and just run in a circle. And if your mercenary ever dies, go back to town, because he's basically soloing the thing. Oh, the Fanes. You know what? The next Larzek character I make, I might just do it. I might finally make a sorceress and just teleport everywhere in Lightning Nova. Every once in a while, you can be the overpowered character as a treat. Especially if I'm trying to do this fast, which I'm not really. But kind of fast, I guess, question mark, kind of like that. I'm not purposefully trying to waste time besides not choosing a sorceress. Maybe it's a waypoints. I didn't even look. That wasn't an elite. Every time you fight Duriel, it makes you wish you had static on the sorceress. He has so much hit points, he does. And that frost attack will get you. And at that point, you probably have found like 20% faster cast rate, but probably not more than that. And so every time you teleport away from him, it's a slow enough cast rate that he can probably just drag himself over like the worm that he is to hit you again anyway. Like standing and blasting is almost the right choice for the most part. Depending on how many rejuves you found up until that point. Doesn't help that pet pathing is crap and you end up with like 4 skeletons doing anything. Yeah. I noticed that the pets, or your skeletons specifically, especially in the maggot lair, everybody is annoying in the maggot lair, but I thought maybe it would be okay because the skeletons, you seem to be able to run through them, but they kind of can't run through each other. And so in the maggot lair, it was like one skeleton attacking the lead guy. And so I had to keep summoning the blood golem like behind him at least. Just goes to show nobody has fun in the maggot lair. Fun is banned. Alright, Travancore. Got the quest. I feel like these guys are just going to destroy all my skeletons. I mean, not as fast as I thought. They're like they're kind of chilling. Nah, they're dead. Well, an attempt was made. I gotta do all the quests. Anyway, leading up to this, it wasn't yet time for the Trav. I just wanted to see how bad it would be. Sorry, I'm checking my phone. I had 2 people call me. Ooh. Okay. Hey. I gotta call these people back. It's business. Diablo end streams and AOS will continue. Later this week. I'll keep you informed. Friday for sure. There's a server slam I might participate in with D4, but also I want to play more Age of Sigmar. We'll do it all. But I gotta call these people back. So hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Sorry, cut short. Weird stream. But next time AOS TDS game and some D4 and stuff. TY for watching. Hey, join my Discord if you feel like it.